Something that I feel like is so pressing for so many people out there right now is their perception, because we've been bombarded with so much information, so many scenarios that have happened in the last year and a half, that people's perception, their faith, and above all, their belief, their inner belief of self and the world around them is dwindling. So I'm just curious, what are your thoughts on perception and how it affects the way we live our lives and our ability to advance in life?
That's a deep question, and with everything going on now, it's my heart goes out to a lot of people because a lot of people now are struggling, just like you said, people going through all kind of things, and um, I think it's imperative that we have the right perception, and our perception of how things is, it determines everything,
Mm-hmm.
right? So I think if you see things a certain way, then a lot of times that's how they're going to be. I know I grew up in Detroit. I grew up with the perspective being, everybody had like a funny perspective, especially when it came to money, right?
Mm.
So you ever grew up hearing things like money is tight, money don't
Yeah,
grow on trees, and
yeah.
all those kind of things gave us, I think, improper perspective when it came to finances, especially when me.
Yeah.
Like, so I grew up with my mom and we was middle class, but um, we still had a perception that money was difficult to come by, that it was hard to get.
Mm-hmm.
I grew up with that, and I think it gave me a poverty mentality.
Yeah.
Now, some people really fight that word. They don't want to hear, well, I don't have no poverty mentality.
Mm-hmm.
But if lack and poverty keep showing up in your life,
Mm-hmm.
at some point or another, you got to stop and say, wait, what's happening here?
So with that, I want to pause you because I think that's a very, very key point when we talk about perception, and that is awareness. Because a lot of times we have experiences based on trauma or insecurities, which a lot of our insecurities come from trauma. And we have a pattern of being, of existing, habits and conditioning, the way we go about the world, that we don't realize, we're not aware of.